Okay, that should have worked. There it is. There it is. Okay. Okay, guys. So now that I finally got everything working, it actually kind of looks like the video is going a lot slower than I want it to. So let's see if I can fix that. Probably not. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Okay, there it is. Okay, so that should be back. Yeah. Okay, so everything seems to be working on my side. I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully everything's working. Okay. So, today is pretty much just going to be a question and answer. Because I know a lot of you guys weren't around. Well, Blue was, Sapphire was. But besides Sapphire, a lot of people don't remember my original broadcast. So they never really got to meet or know me. So this is kind of like a meet and greet. You guys are pretty much being able or allowed to pick my brain for pretty much whatever information y'all want. It can be questions about me, questions about my specific path, questions about my heritage. The only question I will not take, Sapphire, is, can you show us your pregnant belly? So, you guys, again, feel free to ask questions. If something moves behind me, it's more than likely my dog. Don't be alarmed. He just kind of sleeps there. So my path is specifically, not even specifically, I wish I could like move the chat up. It's really annoying. Hey, pop out. Ha! I can see it now. Okay. So, yes, Sapphire. That's the answer to that one. They are somewhere. So my path is actually a mixture between my heritage, which is Anglo Lakota, and a version of witchcraft. So I'm not Wiccan. I follow the rule of do no harm but take no shit because I don't feel comfortable in not defending myself. I do have a moral code. It is not the read or anything like that. It's just my own personal moral code and then the moral code of my tribe. But a lot of what my path involves is he's the lump right here. That's the puppy. A lot of what my path involves is traditions and rituals from my heritage specifically. Most people actually warn against doing healing and health spells for others unless they know about it, Rayanne. Personally, I don't care. But because honestly, if somebody needs help, they need help. But some people do. So, that's the puppy. Right here. He's currently curled up underneath the blanket with a pillow. See? His pillow and his fat head. Lily! You are not a lily, you are a hottie. Yes, you're a hottie. So, usually, I don't do spell work based on the moon unless it's a full moon or a new moon. I do spell working on what most people would call Sabbats. I call them holidays. I do spell working for specific Lakota traditional ceremonies, which would be like the Sundance and also days of remembrance, such as in December we have the Remembrance of Wounded Knee. A couple months ago we had the Dakota 38, which was the remembrance of 38 Lakota and Dakota tribal-men who were hung for no reason. Stop it. No, you're not supposed to itch. Hi. When I was younger, around teenager-ish, 13 to like 17. I know that was loud for y'all. Just keep in mind I'm the one that got sprayed in the face. Don't sneeze on me again. So, when I was younger, around like 13 to 16, I was doing spells and spell working a lot more. But mainly because I also had a friend who was pagan during that time as well, and a lot of what we went through together, we generally practiced together. So if one of us needed a spell for something, both of us were involved. But as I got older, I stopped doing so much spell work because I don't personally want to waste my time working a spell and extending that energy for people who not only don't want to accept physical help or advice in the situation, but also in general are just not the greatest people in the world to begin with. So I'm very selective and picky about spell working for people. But in general, I do spell working on Sabbaths. I do spell working for days of remembrance, and days such as that, the Sundance, the Dakota 38 Remembrance Day, the Wounded Knee Remembrance Day. I'm honestly, I have to be kind of choosy with the Remembrance Days, because if I were to do spell working on every single Remembrance Day, I would never have anything else to do. It would be an everyday occurrence. So I'm a little choosier with the Remembrance Days than I am with the holidays, the Sabbaths, and the full moon and new moon, as well as like powwows and stuff like that. Powwows are honestly also a type of dude, you are disgusting. You have stuff all over you. Gross. Okay. Powwows are also a type of spell working. The dance in general is a type of spell work. So, often, but not super often. And the older I get, the less I seem to do spell working. Taylor, you cannot have my puppy. You cannot. He would drive you nuts to begin with, so you'd give him back in like under 24 hours. Is there any type of magic I like to do best? So, while it is not a hugely popular or no, Taylor, a reformed sense of magic or magical working, and I'm really bad at it too, dance. Powwow dance and such as the jingle dress dance, the jingle dress dance and the grass dance and the root dance and obviously the sun dance. Would you stop? Just relax and let me love you, dude. Probably itchy because you got fluffies all over you. Hold on. I found a buggy. Where'd it go? Oh. Nope, you're not gonna let me get it. And that's a huge part of my culture and my heritage is the dancing. A lot of our ceremonies and rituals in the Lakota tradition make, not so much make, but put an emphasis on the ceremonial dances that we do. It's also a very freeing experience when you realize you don't necessarily have to abide by any rules or by any, like, oh, would you stop? Any rules, or you don't have to wear a mask. You're very very encouraged to just move the way that the music takes you, and to take that music in and to be who you are, and to allow your connections to stop it. Your connection to the earth and to the sky, to the baby's gonna kick you. Baby's gonna kick you very hard. Stop. Stop it. You're acting up only because you're on TV. Freaking goober. I apologize. My dog is actually usually asleep at this point. I'm not really sure why he's awake and causing a bunch of bull. And now he's a turtle and he can't roll over. Would you stop? Would you stop? You actually have your head in my side. The baby gonna kick you. Don't huff at me. You were perfectly fine, curled up right there on your pillow, laying down. It actually isn't, Catherine. There's there's a prophecy, and obviously well, okay then. No, you're not allowed to do that, and I can't give you any more medicine for right now. Lay down and take a dang nap. You were doing so well. You were... Oh. Okay. That's how he's gonna play today. Obviously. Ow! You stepped on my toe. Owie. Step! Stop. No. 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 Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. I'm gonna pop you on the butt. Lay down. No. Stop chewing yourself. No. No. Jesus. Calm down. Calm down. There's actually a prophecy that says when the younger generations wish to learn, those of our people who know will be there. The Lakota especially are very open about actually teaching the traditions and the cultures, and also the cultural values of our tribe. The way we think, the way we interact with each other, the way we feel. Hati. Hey. Come lay down. Get up here. Lay down. Lay down. No, lay down. And we're a very open people, which is why Osheti Shikawan, the camp in North Dakota that was about or against DAPL, was such a big thing, because it was multiple nations and multiple different types of people coming together and learning the Lakota or the Sioux way of life. So it's not weird. It would take a little bit of work because people outside of the culture, well, a lot of people that are outside of the culture have grown up with social stigmas, either about the culture itself or about how they're supposed to react to certain things, such as music or seeing things that other people can't see. And because of that, it takes a little bit to break those influences, social influences. But it's not weird. There's people all the time who learn from those of my people and actually understand and everything. So sorry guys, being pregnant I have to drink a lot of water. Hottie, stop. Lay down on your pillow, dude. Great, my hand smells like dog. And I figured everything out. So my parents were always really open. My parents were always really open and encouraging about learning for myself what works best for me. And a big part of that for me was the fact that I didn't have to hide. There were plenty of times I would go up to my mom and ask something. My mom is full blood on Lakota Sioux as well as my dad was. I would go up and ask her something. Well, my mom grew up in the military in the South, and she knows a lot about different cultures, but not so much about our culture. So when I would ask her about something dealing with Lakota heritage, I would get told, I don't know, go ask your grandma. And so I didn't ever really have to hide it because my mom just kind of didn't know, and she'd just point me in the right direction. My dad really didn't care. So that was a big, it was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders personally as a kid growing up and wanting to know these things. I'm going to turn the video off real quick, guys. It's making my computer run really, really slow. So I'm still going to be on audio. Y'all should still be able to hear me. Stop it, puppy! Hey. But the biggest advice that I can give anyone who has to hide or kind of hide, one of the ways that I know some people get through without the stigma or the backlash is, instead of researching or reading books specific to a path or that have witchcraft on the title, or pagan or Wicca, read about the cultures and instead pick up historical books about the natives, about the different tribes and everything. because that'll still teach you a lot about that path. Same with the Celts, same with the Scots and the Irish. If you start getting the historical background, it's actually a lot easier to understand the cultural and traditional significance when they come up in the books about the religion to begin with. And you can just say, well, I'm a history buff, if you do have to kind of hide your practice. But I'm one of those people who is very about being open with people about my religion, even though I do live in the Bible Belt. I don't hide it, and I never really have had to. So I try to be as open as I possibly can. And I think it weighs a lot on people's minds when they have to hide or kind of hide their practice. And so I do say that being open is the best policy. Because if you are open, then you are able to explain, and you are able to, especially if you have the historical background, you're able to show them that it's not just, oh, kids these days, or it's not just things that people today consider devil worship or Satanism. No offense to any Satanists here. So to my knowledge, I'm not allowed to actually smoke cigarettes while I'm on video, so that's why I turned the video off, just to let you guys know. While it may not seem like it, I still have a slight fear of public speaking. There's no use in whining, baby. Come here, come lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Come on. So good ways to stretch your magical or spiritual muscles, if they can be called that, on a regular basis. Meditation definitely helps. Different types of meditation on different days. It's kind of like a workout routine, the way I have it set up. Since I can't really get up and do rituals or spell work anymore, I waddle as it is. And when you have to waddle around a circle, it kind of sucks. I'm also not supposed to lift anything heavier than like a gallon of milk. So, meditation, like on Mondays, do visualization meditation. On Tuesdays, do a type of chakra meditation. Thursdays, you can do a sound meditation, which is like a focus. It's kind of like a candle meditation or flame meditation, but instead of focusing on a flame, you're focusing on music or a sound. The best music for that is usually like soft lullaby type music, or earthy music, like sounds of nature type stuff. Lay down. Lay down. Not on camera anymore. Lay down and stop being a goober. And then there's always, you can do daily tarot readings, just in general. It doesn't have to be specifically for somebody or for yourself. I do it all the time, honestly. I just pick up my cards and I pull one card out of the deck and I read it. Lay down. Lay down. Thank you. And let's see. So meditation, the tarot readings. You can do the same with runes as well, where instead of doing a reading for anyone or specific people, you just pull a rune. It's like daily runes and daily tarot cards. And then there's you have dancing, which you can do. Like I said, that's one of the big things for me. Or, well, it was when I could do it, because now I'm too big for it. Stop it. Yes, Sapphire, I know. I turned my video off on purpose for a little bit. I will turn it back on here in a few. You can do meditative dance. You can do traditional dance. You can honestly just play music and let yourself move. And that also does stretch your magical or spiritual muscles as well. So, what else is there? You need to stop. You need to lay down. I'm going to stick the kitties on you. Lay down. No, Sapphire. It's not your computer. If it's something that goes well with you and your practices, then yeah, it would actually be a good purchase for you. I don't have a small hand drum. I have one of those tiny little native kid toys where it's a drum and it's got the beads and you spin it and it makes noise. I use that. You can also tap on them because they are tiny drums, but they're like, it's a kid's toy basically. But I've been using that since I got it when I was about 10, and I've been using it in my practice for quite a couple of years. Just because it's so small and easy to use, it's very compact. The noise it makes is a very good noise for me. It's not too loud, but it's also not that quiet. And you can't like smack it with your entire hand, and it's very hard to break. So I attempt to get things that aren't going to break very easily since I have animals. So if you have a cat and you get a little hand drum, keep it where your cat can't get it. Cats do destroy them. My first hand drum actually was demolished by, well, midnight. My kitten. But if you do music related meditation, or you are interested in drum circles or incorporating drums into your practice, then yeah, a small hand drum is definitely going to be a good purchase. Next summer, Sapphire, we have Pagan Picnic again, where I am, and they are going to have 3 different drum circles. One is a Celtic drum circle, one is going to be indigenous led drum circle, and one is going to be a generic modern day drum circle. So I'm excited for those next year. Although I'm going to have a baby, he's probably going to want to demolish those drums. So that's going to be fun. Now that that's out, I can. Okay. So the video is going to pop back up here in a few minutes. Yes. A lot. So, as I grew up watching my grandmother practice, I never questioned my heritage. But when you start mixing heritage and and witchcraft, it becomes a little more complicated and complex. And so many times between the ages of 13 and now I'm 23, I have spent time questioning if adding magic and witchcraft to my heritage was the right thing to do for me. And between, I'd say, about 11 years old and 16, I have tried every religion under the sun. The only ones I didn't really attempt to dive into in full was Catholicism and Islam, just because there is a large Catholic following in my area. I didn't particularly like the people. They didn't make me feel comfortable enough going to church, so I studied up on it and I did a lot of reading about it, but I kind of just avoided the church and the people. And then Islam, there isn't really a lot of Islamic followings around me, so I never really could follow through with that one as well. So other than those two, though, I've pretty much tried everything under the sun, because of questioning if my path was right. And I always ended up coming back to my path specifically, because it feels right for me. There we go. But questioning if your path is right, it's a normal thing. You're never gonna fully, especially if you don't have a path like anybody else, you're never gonna fully be 100%, yeah, let's go get them. Because you're always gonna have that hesitation. But if it feels right, just know that it is right for you, and you don't have to question yourself at every turn. Nims, you're completely fine. Blue pretty much knows everything there is to know about me. She was here since day one that I originally started broadcasting, so I don't think she has any real questions ever that actually pertain to anything, because she's heard it all. And Aurora has known me for a little bit. I don't know how long she's been in my, was there during my broadcasts. Starlight, during my broadcasts, unless you're a moderator, I don't really accept PMs. Try asking questions in the room so I can see them easier. I have my screen separated, so I can't actually see that part of my bar. All I know is it started flashing at me. I still hate drinking water. Your guess is as good as mine, Sapphire. This is a 3-bedroom house. And honestly, she's probably in the bathroom for no reason. Or they're upstairs because they were up there fighting yesterday. Or one of them might be in... I don't know. I don't know where they are. They just kind of come and go freely as they want. I'm going to take your foot off, dude. You're going to be given Benadryl here in a little bit. So, just lay down and relax. So, we have 3 animals, and technically we have 3 people in this house. Panther Lily, the littlest kitten who has a bum eye, is my cat. The puppy is the baby's, and then the other cat is my husband's. Midnight, the one that doesn't like anybody. Lily is I am a baby, I am a puppy, I don't know what I am. So, she's mine. And then, you know, you see how lovey-lovey the puppy is. He does have a slight skin allergy, which is why I keep grabbing his feet and stuff. He's not supposed to scratch and itch. It's a mild skin allergy. It happens a lot. Sapphire. Okay, I will show if I could get to them. I have them slightly hidden, so. Oh. So. But I would consider Lily, Panther Lily, my familiar specifically. Okay. You can stop scratching. Stop. And you're sitting on my phone. Stop. I will wrap you up as a puppy burrito if you don't. He is... Stop. Enough. Chewing your toenails. That works. So these are the baby moccasins. These were at one point mine. It's kind of hard to think that my fat feet at one point fit in these. These are traditional handmade moccasins from the Standing Rock Reservation. And they have been blessed. So those are those. I'm very shocked that they have not fallen apart, honestly. So there you go, Sapphire. Starlight, he is a pit bull. Specifically, he is a blue blood Alfalfa bulldog, which is a very fancy way of saying he is the baby of a terrier and a pit bull mix, or a terrier and a bulldog mix, which makes a pit. He is considered a miniature pit because of his size. That's where the skin allergy came from. Mild skin allergies are very common with pit bulls and bulldogs in general, as well as terriers. So it's why this part of his butt is all kinds of raw. But in general, we just call him a pit. But he is considered technically to be an Alfalfa American blue blood bulldog. And that's what his paperwork says. And yes, Sapphire, he does have white feet. They are partially white. That he has a white chest too. Those are the only white parts on his body. Lily! Midnight! Meow! Yeah, I don't think the kittens want anything to do with me at the moment, so we're just gonna leave them alone. If they show up, they show up, but I am married, Nims. He has some. So y'all are gonna look at the computer like I've got two heads. He is actually a pagan Gnostic Christian. While he does not understand much paganism, he understands that a lot of Christian beliefs come from pagan beliefs, and that pagan is a much older religion. He does not do magic. He does not do spells. He does acquiesce to the native aspect of a lot of things that I do, because he himself is also Blackfoot Sioux. But beyond that, he's very anti-magic. He believes, he knows it exists. He knows that he could use it if he wanted to. But in essence, he's honestly just lazy. Yes, Nin, I know, and I'm not going to be able to ever pronounce your full name. So I'm just going to call you either Catherine, Nims, or Nin. But honestly, he's just that lazy. And he honestly was one of those strict Christians who heard everything is bad, devil worship, blah, blah, blah. Yes, Sapphire, I know that. You are moving my computer. Knock it off. Until he and I actually got together, and it was like, because he cares and he loves me, he's able to be more open with everything. And so when I started spewing out like historical facts about paganism and Christianity and how they fit together, he kind of started but he's still, again, not... He acquiesced to the idea that paganism is older than Christianity. He acquiesced to the fact that there is magic in Christianity and that a lot of ideas and traditions are pagan. And he does enjoy and practice both of our heritages as Sioux. But you were shaking my computer, puppers. Knock it off. But again, he doesn't do the magic aspect. Howling every once in a while at the full moon, just to release some tension in his system and stuff like that, is really all he ever does. He doesn't participate in circles or spells or anything like that with me. He has done tarot readings for people. He also does own a set of runes. God knows where they went, though. Sapphire! Hush! Don't jinx me, woman. Okay, so the kitties are eating. That's what they're doing. I can hear them. The puppy can hear them. But he's still very anti-magic. So, at least specific magic, so spells and rituals, he does not shapeshift. He does not shapeshift. So I pushed him to do a sweat lodge with my adoptive father, who passed away on the 23rd. I can't even remember what day. I think it was the 23rd. Oh, computer. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so my adoptive father that passed away on the 23rd, while we believe in shape-shifting in the spiritual sense, not in the physical sense, no, my husband does not shape-shift. He's still learning. And that's part of everything. He was raised Roman Catholic and Jewish. His biological father was Jewish, and his mother was Roman Catholic. And so when he and I got together and he started going to powwows with me and he started learning about our cultures, he became more of a open-minded person. he feels that that a lot of the Sioux and Native traditions that we have for our tribe is freeing to him. My adoptive father, Fenris Falcorian is what his nickname was. He actually taught my husband a lot about Native traditions, as well as about the rituals and the ideas and the thoughts behind why we do things that we do for Native. So he's still learning, and when I say he's still learning, it's like teaching a baby to walk. It is mostly men in the Sioux tribe that do the shape-shifting, or spirit shifting, as some call it. But women are also known to participate. It's based very largely on your spirit animal or one of your spirit animals. I've done it. I know my grandmother used to do it. I think my sister's trying to, but I don't even trust my sister to walk a straight line, so at this point she's kind of worrisome. So women are known to do it as well in the Sioux tribe, but it is a predominantly male-dominated aspect. Yes, it is, again, part of Native culture, depending on your tribe. Well, hi. I forgot what I was saying. Would you stop? You know, you're making the baby mad at me because you won't stop because I keep yelling at you. Haughty! Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. I'm gonna make you into a puppy burrito. Stop it. You want to be an us. That's fine. There you go. Okay. He is Sioux, so we are of the same nation, but he and I are not of the same tribe. So he's Blackfoot Sioux. I am Oglala Lakota Sioux. I'm from two different Sioux tribes, but we are from the same nation. He's also German, so he looks German. He does not look Native. Blonde hair, blue eyes, kind of tall. The only real Native thing about him is his cheekbones and his feet. The purpose of spirit shifting is, and this is going to sound really corny, but it's the only way I can think to describe it. In all of the werewolf movies and stuff that you've seen, especially like Blood and Chocolate, when they change, they are free. When they shift into their wolf form, they are free. And that's kind of the purpose of spirit shifting. It's a way to free yourself from your physical human existence and to become closer to the animal that you represent in your physical form. Honestly, it's probably the most enjoyable thing I've ever done. It was a completely, not so much mind or eye-opening experience, but it was one of a kind, and you can never spirit shift and feel the same multiple times in a row. you'll never feel the same way twice. So it's to bring you closer to the animal itself and the spirit of the animal, but it's also a way of opening yourself up to the traits of those animals, because you carry those traits with you all the time. And if you spirit shift into a bear, you're going to have more bear traits in the next couple of months than you would of any other of your spirit animals. Nims, you have multiple spirit animals. Sweat lodges are one way to find out your spirit animals. Crying for a dream, or also now known as a freaking vision quest, is another way. This is where you literally, what it says, crying for a dream. You humble yourself so far to the spirits that you literally you fast 7 days and all you have is water. And you cry to the spirits for a dream to humble yourself. So kinda Zaloth, it's releasing one aspect of your spirit, because like I said, you have multiple. Knock it off. Here's your pillow. Put your head down. Lay down. Lay down. You have multiple spirit animals, and each spirit animal represents just one aspect of your spirit. It's kind of like if you broke your spirit down and gave each section its own its own visual interpretation of an animal. That's what it is. So every time you spirit shift, you are releasing only one of one part or one aspect of your spirit. I have multiple. I have like 5 spirit animals, and one of them is a bear. So at one point I could release the bear aspect of my spirit, but at another point it could be a wolf, which is another spirit animal that I have. So you're never just releasing your spirit in general. It's one aspect that is closest to that animal that you're trying to represent. And then, while yes, it is 7 days. 7 days is the traditional time period that you would fast and cry for a dream. You are allowed water, and usually the stories say that it doesn't take 7 full days. Usually within a day or two of crying, the spirits will chase you away, and then you'll come back and try it again. It's kind of a cycle at that point, but usually it doesn't take 7 days. People have been known to have visions and dreams without doing a vision quest, but it's less likely. But that was the original number of days. You would dig a hole, you would or a half circle. So, Zayla, the thing is, like, you can try looking for your spirit animal, but you're probably not going to find it. The purpose of a sweat lodge, the purpose of crying for a dream, the purpose of meditation, it's not to go looking for things. It's actually to let them come to you. If you're ready and your spirit animal thinks that you're ready for them to be seen, they'll show themselves to you. But if they don't think you're ready, or if you're actually not ready, they won't. It can be a very long process, and it can take a lot of, not so much training, but a lot of growing up. Some people have it easier and have been able to find specific aspects of themselves for their spirit animals a lot easier than others. Like I said, I'm pretty sure my sister is trying to do the spirit animal and spirit shifting, and I don't trust her with the spoon, let alone magic, and now she's trying to spirit shift, so we'll see how well that goes. I don't think it's going to go very well. But then back to what I was saying, 7 days was just the normal time period that it was, that you would dig a half circle, and that's where you would sit with your tobacco for offering and your sacred pipe, your chanumpa. You would ring the circle with stones as protection. You would offer tobacco to the four winds, which is the four directions, and then to Father Sky, Mother Earth, and Tunkan Sheila, and then you would cry for a dream. You were, again, allowed water. You were able to sleep. You didn't have to stay up all the time. The only thing you couldn't do was eat, and it was to show humbleness to the spirits that you meant business as a way to fast. Usually you also had at least 1 or 2 types of weapons back through then. Kind of, Zayla, the animals that represent us, our spirit animals, are actual animals. They are the spirit of those animals. So, while they come to you, it's because they know more. They're the wise people. They're the ancestors. They have been here from time immemorial, since the earth was created, since they were created. And every other being was created before the two-legged, which is us. The four-legged, the winged ones, the swimmers, they were all created first. And they had time where they didn't have to deal with us. We didn't come into existence. And so they know more. They know, they have a stronger connection to the earth itself. And so when we say that they come to us, you can look for them and you may find them, but they judge you on whether or not you are ready to actually meet them. Yes, at Sarah, you can creep now. No, I'm not standing up to show you my belly. But Zayla, it's more of a determination, or a determinator of if you are ready to step up and take the mantle as a spirit warrior or a spirit healer or what have you. Because the different animals do come with different titles. Otters are spirit healers. The wolf is a spirit warrior. There are people that have both. But one aspect is always going to be stronger than the next. And overall, out of all of your spirit animals, you will always have one stronger spirit animal. Oh, my nose. I love you too, Aunt Sarah. You South Canadian. So, they don't show you to anyone else. They are your teachers, Zayloth. The animals are your teachers. The spirit animals, and the animals that they are in the physical world, they're your teachers. They don't show you anywhere else. They don't take you anywhere else. They are the ones that teach you. And that's why we have so many different aspects of ourselves. My bear spirit animal is the mother aspect of me. It's the family aspect. Whereas the warrior aspect of me is actually a wolf. So I have two different aspects with two different traits, and both of them are going to teach me different things. At Sarah, you heard me. I called you a South Canadian. And my puppy is asleep. I need to sit up. It's hard, Zeloth, when you're trying to compare a type of magic to something that isn't... It's not magic. It's a culture, it's a tradition, it's a heritage. And while everybody can do it, not everyone's ready. And it's a part of a way of life for us. It's not just something you do because it's cool. It's not just something... This is stuff that I grew up with. I grew up with sweat lodges and doing sweat lodges, and I grew up learning about spirit animals and crying for a freaking vision, which sucked. So it's a little difficult, Zeloth, when you go from dragon magic to something that is... You can't individually take spirit animals away from the native traditions and culture. It's impossible to do. They're part of each other, and to adhere to one means you would have to adhere to another. So I'm trying to explain it the best I can without reverting back to Lakota. Because there are some words that we use when we talk about spirit animals in Lakota that they don't have translations into English. And sometimes it is very hard, but so let's see. At Cerro, liking the guides, and so yes, many people in New Age still try to single out spirit animals, or more specifically totem animals, as a New Age concept. And what they do is they literally try to do what I just said you can't do, which is separate the spirit animal aspect from the entire culture. They thrive off of one another, and instead people in the New Age community have attempted to take spirit animals and totem animals, and they've kind of warped it, but a lot of the basics are still true. They're still guides, they're still teachers, and they're still protectors. So it is like the guides of the New Age terms. And then it depends on where the hawk falls for you, which aspect it falls in. Hawks usually represent strength and freedom. They represent the predatory nature of birds, fearlessness, ruthlessness, but at the same point, they represent freedom. Above all else, they represent strength, and they also, in general, represent being one with the wind and the sky. So those are generalized meanings or representations of hawks. Depending on what aspect it falls into, such as your family, home life aspect, the warrior aspect, the healer aspect, your individual aspect. Depending on which aspect it falls into will actually change the representation a little bit, but not very much. Yes, Ed Sarah, cultural appropriating bastards. And I know, Ed Sarah, you love my puppers. He is asleep, which is nice. He tends not to do that quite a bit. He's usually itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy. Okay, I just wanted to be sure, Zayloth, because I'm not... Again, there are certain words in Lakota that don't have translations, and it's easier to just explain them with those words, because everybody gets it, but you guys don't know Lakota, so I can't specifically use those words, because nobody would understand me. Okay, guys, we're gonna take a little bit of a bathroom break. I'm going to turn that off and put on some music again.
Yeah, I don't know how many people want me to do this, man. Not too many. We've been acting out of pocket for way too long, man. We've been out here fighting on streets and banging on streets and built on top of our sacred lands, man. We native, homie. Native. Remember that. That's different. That's different than the norm, homie. We out here trying to be like somebody else. What?
Let's end it at that and let's keep it at that shit. Why these natives acting, living reenactments. We keep it classic, we gon' keep advancing. We just taking over HGS and Savage Family. Let's end it at that and let's keep it at that shit. Why these natives acting, living reenactments. We keep it classic, we gon' keep advancing. We just taking over HGS and Savage Family. We exist without respect for our family survive. In the day that disrespect will get you banished from tribes. When we beef with our sisters, then we beef with our brothers, then we beef in the streets, but we beefing for nothing. We can bang on the block, we can't bang on the cops, we can't bang on the system, so the banging will stop. Remember, our ancestors understand who we was, while we blood and cousin, understanding your blood. They been killing our people to get rid of us, fam. But if we doing the same, what make us different from them? Doped out, drunk, fighting right in front of your kids. If one still hasn't healed, then every one of us sick. That money ain't shit, you can see what it do. Make our people follow lies and not believe in the truth. So we keepin' the movement, we defending the fam. Tell them if they want war, we can end it at that. Let's end it at that and let's keep it at that shit. Why these natives acting, living reenactments. We keep it classic, we gon' keep advancing. We just taking over HGS and Savage Family. Let's end it at that and let's keep it at that shit. Why these natives acting, living reenactments. We keep it classic, we gon' keep advancing. We just taking over HGS and Savage Family.
HGS will whip that Savage Family circle. In the night, black lights and wild owls turn purple. I'm an east side native, hair braided, I ain't high. We can say a bird with faded hair, cannon blazing, rated teardrops from the sky. If we die, don't cry in this bitch. It wasn't in vain, it wasn't the same old Buffalo shit. A native spit it, with a purpose, native spit it. With a passion, watch the ball for all of y'all. Through the dirt, put it work, straight mashing the savage fashion, getting right. Changing my life for all my natives in the casket. My kids and my wife, my heart changed through the pain. Wash away in the rain, I can't explain what I'm feeling, but it's feeling so right. I know I'm living in life, dealing with that despite these pale people put us through this hell, this dark of a light. A sharp spark in the night, redirect direction and sight of a people lost in this evil, resurrect the connection in life.
Let's end it at that and let's keep it at that shit. Why these natives acting, living reenactments. We keep it classic, we gon' keep advancing. We just taking over HGS and Savage Family. Let's end it at that and let's keep it at that shit. Why these natives acting, living reenactments. We keep it classic, we gon' keep advancing. We just taking over HGS HGS and Savage Family. Let's edit at that and let's keep it at that shit. Why these natives acting, living reenactments. We keep it classic, we gon' keep advancing. We just taking over HGS and Savage Family. Let's edit at that and let's keep it at that shit. Why these natives acting, living reenactments. We keep it classic, we gon' keep advancing. We just taking over HGS and Savage Family. Edit at that.
These are the notions we have of the people who ain't right and know that they ain't right. Liberating from our native indigenous people that are holy and humble are now gonna pay.
To them we non-existent, pillaged and locked in prison, along with other brothers and sisters. Many have lost traditions. Blatant dishonesty created death and poverty. Western ideals imposed through various acts and policies. Smoke, mirrors and bars and theories abroad. Bury the thought of waiting for the goal.
We seen you arriving as soon as you hit.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
We're gonna die out here.
Then we'll die like warriors.
It's not a good day to die, Grandpa. It's a terrible day to die. It's 100 degrees, we're walking down the highway. There's nothing brave about it. You asked me, I would have took
Me?
that.
Aye, that's all I hear from you. There's no word in our language for me. I. Just we. Us. Where do things go wrong? Must be when man start listening to the four-leggeds, the winged ones, the animals. He removed himself from the circle, see? He can't hear the raven no more.
Can you?
Sometimes we gotta fight, sometimes we gotta choose whether we want to live or die. Sometimes we gotta rise, sometimes we gotta fight, sometimes we gotta choose whether we want to live or die. Sometimes we gotta rise, sometimes we gotta fight, sometimes we gotta choose whether we want to live or die. Sometimes we gotta rise, sometimes we gotta fight, sometimes we gotta choose whether we want to live or die. Sometimes
our own people told us not to rap. We got the message, we obligated by spirit. So instead we chose to not forget the folks who did it, only to see the hope diminish. Held close to the dream when they seemed broken, finished. Seen the sunshine, cause it survived through the bloodlines. And sometimes it felt safe to hide in the confines. We ran from life, since it meant that we would have to fight. The path of righteousness was ignored for over half a life, until we seen it and realized that our people needed to fight for freedom and see it change like the seasons. Reasons are clear, we realize and embrace the love for and of our people. Put a smile on their face and tell them we right here. You can lean if you gotta, and let them know that someone will help them see through their problems. Speaking from the bottom of hearts and spirits and minds that's clearly expelled to help the appearance of light. Don't know why.
Why we lost in this world? Why we lost in this? I don't know why we lost in this world? Why we lost in this? I don't know why we lost in this world? Why we lost in this? I don't know why we lost in this world? Why we lost in this?
Sometimes we gotta fight, sometimes we gotta choose whether we want to live or die. Sometimes we gotta rise, sometimes we gotta fight, sometimes we gotta choose whether we want to live or die. Sometimes we gotta rise, sometimes we gotta fight, sometimes we gotta choose whether we want to live or die. Sometimes we gotta rise, sometimes we gotta fight, sometimes we gotta choose whether we want to live or die.
Little lady, what's your mission?
They got you tripping for nothing, can't understand your heart. But I know you're searching for something, there's something inside. Every soul questioning life, every lie. The truth most only found when we die. But in death, what's the use to the answer to life? Try to hold your last breath, can't accept the outcome to your strife. Trying to reflect on your wrongs, but you felt it was right. Cause in your heart all along you've been feeling a knife for the backstabbing ways that we forced to live nowadays.
We seen you arriving as soon as you hit the horizon, blocking the sun. Great winged sea creatures spoke your silhouette, and I'll never forget. Dragging behind you black clouds of rain, precipitating torrential pain, escaping your own persecution with lessons on how to persecute. Your destiny manifested as we surrendered our identity, our history, our culture, spiritual beliefs and traditions. The land we held sacred, for it sustains us all, cannot be bought or sold. Yeah, the same land that you stole. However, not to worry, ancestors, for we have bore young that are going to steal back the sun.
We know that we can rise again, see the light through the dark, feel the pride that's inside of your heart. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again, see the light through the dark, feel the pride that's inside of your heart. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again. We exist to resist until our people can grow. And when it's time, I'll let that death song sing in its soul, so we can lead this world believing as our people before. To let them know our spirit will never cease to belong. That's why we live and struggle, standing tall against the wind. And if all of this shit ends, just let them know we live for them. And we'll die the same for the truth, so we can finally say we're free as a people. No matter how much time it takes, embrace our children, try and teach them what's right. Never be too proud to allow your heart to speak for your mind. See, we can rise again, see that light through the dark, recognize and feel the pride that lies inside of your heart. That's from the tears we shed, from the blood on their hands. We're all here to let them know that they can't run from the past. We live in prayers of all descendants, so we see beneath the lies. Imagine how they feeling when they can finally see us rise. We know that we can rise again, see the light through the dark, feel the pride that's inside of your heart. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again, see the light through the dark, feel the pride that's inside of your heart. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again.
At first it wasn't vivid till I walked and lived it. The vision blurred by decision to set the false in prison. The purpose worthless to shine the truth to the condition. Abuse used, program inside the youth of the hopeless images. Whose choice to choose but you and the gift of living. The lies, cries, they tied to the proof of why I'm winning. I rise side by side with the cause, recognize off in the eyes of the silent cries, reflecting light back to the living. I died without purpose, I tried when it felt so worthless. Found hope when I was searching, believe me I'm free from the bullshit burden. Opposite to my opposition, keeping that for certain. Stay believing inside the purpose, the circle where the prayer is working. Harness the hope for the future, for the generations to come. Contribution to life, we came to steal back the sun. Until it rise, laying up the skies, then our job might be done. But till then we struggling, this is the dreams that may come.
We know that we can rise again, see the light through the dark, feel the pride that's inside of your heart. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again, see the light through the dark, feel the pride that's inside of your heart. We know that we can rise again. We know that we can rise again. flesh in the picture, the gift of life that it ends. We derive and ascend from warriors who fight and defend. Tribal men who decipher lives of lies that extend beyond what I say in a mic or even write with a pen. Redefine the times we live, combine the minds of the me. Unified defines pride so we can finally speak and act upon the oppression. Free to die and believe in the spirit of those who fight, not comply and defeat. Through miseducation, penetrate and study the war. It's important to explore the source more than ever before. When the enemy comes, will you be ready to go? Our destiny is heavy, save the strength to carry the load. Our theories unfold and bury what's been carried inside. We're barely alive, it's necessary to cherish our life. Inherit divine inheritance with spirited mind. Through the prayers of a tribe, apparently it's clearly our time. I look. You ain't alone, you ain't alone. We right here, we still living. You ain't alone, you ain't alone. We right here, we still living. We aren't Americans, our heretics are modern embarrassments. I cherish the fact that that wasn't part of our heritage. Only praise when a warrior's killed, not a soldier who protects profit and murders children for oil fields. Government hypocrites who claim they walk with God. Fuck a moral leader that continues to keep dropping bombs. Answer America, just tell me how there is a gain power through fear and still ain't charged with terrorism. Colonial rule exists and it is still imposed amongst Indian nations being held hostage here at home. New age and sympathetic, only to steal religion. Fuck all the politics, the scholars reinvent the Indian. They still dehumanize his history, seen through their eyes, divided by misconceptions, guided by their stereotypes. This is not make-believe, this is for real life. They don't want us part of the dream, but we gon' still rise. You ain't alone, you ain't alone. We right here, we still living. You ain't alone, you ain't alone. We right here, we still living. It isn't easy to breathe while they living a lie. Visualize, we kindle spirit on the physical side. Resistance in the struggle through residual life, or the visions will die along with the indigenous mind. The invisible line we walk through the times and the days as our spirits wake. Ancestors rise from the grave to define our life. Speak through our minds in a maze. Teach the life in the ways that are righteous and safe. Still we're blinded by faith that is right in our face. The endangered engage in battle till we're finally saved. Delivered from evil and the fear of repercussion of the guns, germs, and steel and the theory and disgust. We must carry the torch while our theories are discussed. Rise above the hate in order to experience a love not dead and gone physically, but buried with the dust till our spirits appear clearly that we carry amongst us. You ain't alone, you ain't alone. We right here, we still living. You ain't alone, you ain't alone. We right here, we still living.
Pray for all our people right now in this time. It's been very confusing. There's been a lot of violence. We live in a way, a peaceful way, in a good way, and we ask that you give us the courage and the strength to continue this way.
I am my brother's keeper, yes, I am my mama's child. She gave me a lion heart and she told me to be kind. She taught me to paint my dreams into my reality. And she said, first you gotta wake up, baby. baby, get your head right and keep your eyes wide open. And keep your eyes wide open. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. We stay rising. Stay rising. Stay rising. We stay rising. We stay rising. Stay rising. Stay rising. We stay rising. It's time to fix the broken system we live in. Turn the negative into a positive. Listen, children. You came from the stars and you're more magical than you ever knew you are. Let your love guide you, let your light shine true. Don't let it mind you, got diamonds inside your soul. Don't be afraid of who you are. Kings and queens who came from the stars. Who needs proof when you know what truth is? The truth just is, it needs no mirror to exist. And since we're living in the shadow of the dark, find the light path back to the heart of the matter. Cause somebody's pockets is getting fatter every time we eat the lies that they fed us. I'm fed up. It's time to get up, stand up, children. Keep your head up. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. We stay rising. Stay rising. Stay rising. We 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 stay rising. From the silence, there's the thunder, lightning strikes with the song of our mother. Echoes resound with the healing rays. Dance from the depth of the night till we feel the strength. Moon knows the sun, sun knows the moon. Hearts are all friends, we remember truth. Call upon the Father, won't wait any longer. Gather stars in the darkness, light is always stronger. Heal our relations, unite all nations, all directions for the next 7 generations. Babylon, rainbow bridge, universal language, vibration. Prayers for the planet as we reawaken. Love is a theme, dream, we have the power to reinstate it. The source of creation for the next seven generations. 7 generations. 7 generations. 7 generations. 7 generations. Medicine woman on the rise. Lift your voice up to the skies. All the children must unite. You know we're getting through this. Warrior people on the rise. Lift your voice up to the skies. Great star nation by your side. We are the ones that do this. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. Peaceful warriors. We stay rising. We stay rising. Stay rising. We 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 stay rising.
Power? Is there a higher intelligence? What do you believe in?
This is what I believe. Every great religion in the world, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, essentially comes down to do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. And what I have believed in my whole life, I believed it when I was a 22-year-old kid getting arrested in Chicago fighting segregation. I believed it in my whole life.
that we are in this together.
What if we are the one the world's been waiting for to be the change, be the change? Yeah, every man was once a child, and every child has felt the rain, feel the rain. Yeah, while we tripping on differences, what will it take to realize that we are all one? I am your father, I am your mother, I am your sister, I am your brother. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Peaceful warrior nation, right here and right now. Lift up the vibration, open your hands, open your heart. May we be like the water, let go of the fear, and flow with the river. There is only love, love, love. We are in this together. Yeah, yeah. We are in this together. Yeah, yeah.
One tribe, one organism. Come to bring a better way to Babylon system. Can you feel the burn? Can you see the vision? Back to the roots where the people make decisions. Hey, hey, time for intervention. Come now on the medicine mission. Yes, yes, the healing of the nation. Make way for the leaders who will listen, listen, listen. Yeah, yeah. Make way for the leaders who will listen, 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 listen. Hey, make way for the leaders who will listen, listen, listen. Yeah, yeah. Make way for the leaders who will listen, 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 listen.
And that's just not words. The truth is, at some level, when you hurt, when your children hurt, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt.
We are in this together. Yeah, yeah.
One people, one nation, one tribe.
We are in this together. Yeah,
One people, one nation, one tribe. One people, one family.
we are in this together. Yeah, yeah.
One people, one nation, one tribe.
We are in this together. Yeah, yeah. Like the sun dances on the water, wind in the trees, moonrise and we watch it. This is our song, shared it for so long. Healing comes so strong, we come to know God, Rihanna. Now is the moment, here is our chance. Empower each other, everyone must stand. Return to the mother, return to the land, and love one another. Give a helping hand, cause our hands are only as strong as the hearts that wield them. Connected so deeply, now can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I see it on the horizon, but like a stampede rolling in, 100,000 strong, and we come from every nation. We're carrying the medicine. Can you feel it? Like the sun at daybreak, we're light on its way. The seed that's growing a little each day. We
nation, one tribe. One people, one family. One people, one nation, one tribe. One people, one family. One people, one nation, one tribe. One people, one family. One people, one nation, one tribe. One people, one family.
Okay, I'm back. Would you stop? Hottie. Get up here and lay down. Get up here and lay down. Lay down. Okay. I'm getting tangled. Yes, I did. He likes to kick me in the bladder, so it happens. So I don't know if Luna and Luna's still here. Luna, pretty much what's going on right now is a question and answer broadcast. Pretty much I'm letting everybody pick my brain for information. It can be about me. It can be about my path. It can be about in generals. Or really anything. So... Zero. Guess Merritt doesn't understand that after so long of dealing with certain types of people, you kind of become cynical. Sapphire, probably, actually. There's 3 stages of labor: early labor, active labor, and then the birthing. So usually when you go into labor, you're going into early labor. And most hospitals will actually just send you back home because it takes hours for that. It's just contractions as usual and your cervix dilating. So I would at least try to finish the broadcast. Oh, what in the world is going on in here? Oh. Ed, Sarah, you're not sarcastic at all. You North Canadian. Or South Canadian. Whoops. Sapphire, it's not so much dedication, it's I really don't want to go to the hospital just to be sent back home because I'm in early labor. Early labor can take anywhere between 5 and 8 hours. Usually it just kind of happens and And some women have a longer early labor stage. Some have shorter early labor stage. So, depending on how short or long the early labor stage is, I would just be sent home. So, there's that. And I would kind of be SOL anyway, since I don't have a way to get to the hospital at the moment until my husband gets off work. So, at Sarah, shush, you knew I meant South Canadian. That's right, Newfie is a North Canadian. So we have two ends of the spectrum here. Sapphire, I did have Midnight. She was curled up in my lap there for a minute while we were on break, but obviously, as you can see, she ran off. It is not snowing. It is not. That's no. Not yet. We don't know how well the snow is going to go this year. It just kind of happens sometimes, and we don't really get snow here, though. We get ice. Be triggered, at Sarah. Be triggered. Millennial. We usually just straight get ice. Usually it's late November, early December that we start getting that, though. So we're still kind of in the clear since it's only the 11th of November. Yeah, work with me here, computer. There we go. I know, Ed Sarah. That's why I was being sarcastic. No, we're not. No, we're not. The middle of November starts next week. Haha. Actually, no. That is a very good question, and it would be very helpful if I remembered where I put mine to use as an example. Haha! I found it. Hold on. Ed Sarah, I still love you. While what Dale says is correct, it is really up to you. It's your Book of Shadows. I call mine a grimoire. Mine is this half chewed up, written on, double-sided, upside down. Hottie! Get up here and lay down. Come on. Come on. Get up here. Lay down. Lay down. Put your cover around you. Oh! Ugh. Ew. Ugh. So, when I originally started writing mine in this, because I don't know where the binder is currently, this is my basic one. This is the one that probably drives me the most crazy. Because you can't rearrange pages. So if I forget something, I have to put it somewhere else. The binder I use is a little bit more in-depth than this. And it's easier to rearrange pages with. But I also have I have two more like this that are a herbal book of shadows or a herbal grimoire, and I also have a crystal grimoire. So anything in this book or in the binder that references back to either of the herbal or the crystal grimoire, it'll have a page number. So basically in this one, I started with the blank page, and then the Great Goddess, and pretty much just like a detail description of my version of the goddess. A blessing prayer, which is a Lakota blessing prayer. And then words from the elders, which I actually took from, it's a book called The Ancestors Within. And it's actually a Lakota book that has words from our elders, our ancestors, that were spoken for future generations. And then I have the story of how everything was created, the nature of paganism. I have the Wiccan laws. Some of them are tweaked specifically for my path. But a lot of the Wiccan laws are kind of, they're just kind of fitting, I would say. Such as, no, where is it? Books contain words, trees, energies, and wisdom that words never dreamed of is one of them. Make love with those who you will, but first be clean and free of bonds, and such shall not occur within the circle, save for be private rituals before the gods. So some of these are just kind of like common sense things, like don't have an orgy in front of a bunch of kids in a circle that happens to be public. That's a private thing. Seek out wisdom, stuff like that. So these are just kind of like, some of them to me are common sense in the craft, and the others are, well, they've been reworded a lot. And then, so I do have the Wiccan read written down just for Kate in case. This is the grimoire that I usually use to teach with. So for those that don't know the Wiccan read, I do write it down. Mainly because most people do still need, when they start, some sort of guidance of morals. And then this is just kind of my statements about the craft and rituals, and doing spells, and some delving into the history of it. I obviously screwed up there. This is a spell. This is a spell. This is a dedication to my patron or matron goddess, and then this is a dedication to my patron god. I have an elemental invocation, and then I start, after all that basic information, I start with the tools. The binder is the one that has that has like big red pin warnings. This one does not. So this is what a Book of Shadows or a grimoire is. I specifically say grimoire or Book of Shadows, so as to not confuse anybody. I have the correspondence, the materials, what you can put in it, and then there's obviously like the consecration of an object, what a tool is, that tools must be formally consecrated, consecrated reasons and specifications. They are not for food preparation. Any pointed, sharp objects that have previously drawn blood must be purified. Anthems and swords are to be symbolic only, not used as a weapon. And tools can be given as a gift. So I have the antheme, and I have a sword, the wand, the pentacle, the chalice, the cauldron, the censer, the broomstick, the bowl, a bell, a necklace, cords, scourge, and then I have like Celtic tools down here. And then I have the elements themselves. This is a brief description of what the elements are, as followed by me. And then this is like Earth. I have all of the different correspondence from planet, time, season, quality, direction, jewel, zodiac, color, number, incense, symbol, plants, the animals, what they rule, and then the gods and goddesses for them. So, pretty much the way I did this one is the most basic information first, and then I also have like warnings about elementals in here. And then I have the Wheel of the Year, Circle of Stone, or no, this is how to create the circle, and I have underlined the direction, the color, and the element. And then I have the Sabbaths, and then, or holidays, and then an explanation of how the Sabbaths or holidays came to be. And then I started on the Wheel of the Year. How far did I actually get in that? So I started at Yule, and I actually got to the history of Samhain. I have, for all of the others, I actually have the spell and the ritual separately, and then I also have the history of the Sabbath itself. So you can set your grimoire, your Book of Shadows up however you want. The way I do it is the most basic information first, and then as you go deeper into the grimoire, the Book of Shadows, it gets more complex and a little bit harder to understand without the basic. So pretty much what I use to gauge what's basic and what's not is if you can understand it without anything else, then put it in the front. But if you need to understand something else in order to understand that particular topic, put it in the back or farther back. Say you wouldn't understand the actual rituals or the spells that I put in here for the Sabbaths without actually knowing how to cast a circle first, because I don't go through casting a circle every single time. It just says the circle is cast usually. Zalath, no, I have not. I actually don't know what that is. And then what was your other question? I see that I kind of started babbling there for a while. So I have read both the books of Solomon. I pretty much have read everything that is in our library here at one point. Realized that I have always had a lot of time on my hand and I don't sleep very often since getting pregnant. So usually I'm up reading at night. As for the battle magic, I'm not 100% sure what you mean. It might take me about a month to get through all that Zaloth, but sure. I actually still have a bunch of other books that I'm using to write a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, so it was actually the basic meaning of the words and not like an in-depth meaning of something. As for that, yes. I pretty much take the same stance on using magic in battle or to fight people as I do the same stance with fighting itself. I will not throw the first punch, but if somebody throws one at me, I will defend myself. I don't believe, and morally I cannot believe that the goddess would give us the ability to defend ourselves and then see it as bad karma if we do. So, Hati, stop! So pretty much as long as I take that stance, I'm in the clear, and I believe everybody else who uses it that way is. But it's just like actual fighting for me. I'm not gonna go out of my way to start or cause a fight. No, nor am I going to, nor am I gonna throw the first punch. But if a punch is thrown at me, I will defend myself. Oh goodness. Why you want to load 2? Stupid thing. Pretty much at Zero in more colorful language that I don't think I'm technically supposed to use. I believe in defending myself, not so much causing a fight. So. What in the world? Okay. Ow. Ugh. I'm having to wiggle so much. Ed Sarah, you're a South Canadian. You don't have a mean bone in your actual body. Stop. I'm gonna start poking you in the nose. I swear. Okay, guys, any other questions for me? Is that the one that originally came from Tyr? Oh, I think it did. I think that's originally Tyr's. I'm not sure. Yes, Ed Sarah, you're so evil, just scary and a horrific person. Come here, Lily. Come here, Lily. Come here, Lilybug. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. The baby is a boy. Really? 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 No. I'm mad at you now. Come here, Lily. Come here, Lily kitty. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're gonna make me do this. Ah. Oh. And this is Lily. As Sapphire leaves to go do something. Great. You guys wasted all that time running away and hiding and destroying stuff in the kitchen. Nobody got to see you. So this is Lily. Lily is the littlest kitten. She is my little baby. Stop it. You're fine. He'll be nice. You'll be nice. Obviously, these two actually do get along. At least for the most part. He's over here giving her kisses and stuff. So, yeah, that's Lily. That's the baby kitten. Who runs away as soon as I let her go because the dog is giving her kisses and she doesn't know exactly how to react. Will you lay down now? Like, over here out of my space and not lick my armpit? Thank you. So, at Zero, oh, you already know this, whatever. I actually got into witchcraft through my grandmother. My grandmother was a witch, as well as a wise woman of my tribe. And so pretty much I started learning from her, and I started making a bunch of connections when I actually started researching the different forms of paganism and the different paths to paganism. So I pretty much went from one to another to another to another, taking what resonated most with me and then combining it with the core values that I had, which were my heritage and my culture and traditions of my tribe. So originally my grandmother got me into it, as well as my culture and my tribe. And then from there, it just kind of like, I took off on my own, and pretty much did my own thing. Stop it. Doesn't mean move to your feet, that means stop. What the hell is on your head? Okay, guys, are there any more questions for me? Stop it. You're gonna make me mad. You have ickies on your face. I don't want to fight Dum Dum. Zayla, like I said, with the fact that I don't do much at the moment because I can't and I don't sleep very often. We'll see how long it takes me to get that through that stuff. Nin, do you have any more questions? Or Zaylath? Oh, good lord. The biggest mistake I've made while casting a spell. Are you talking like metaphysical, or are you talking like physical? Because there's two different ones. So originally, when I started casting circles and spells on my own, the biggest mistake was I filled my cauldron, and I had a cauldron about the size of myself, like I could fit in it. And it was actually a gift from my grandmother on my mom's side. It was just a big old pot, and we kept it outside, and we would burn stuff in it, and I started using it for rituals and stuff after a while because it was big enough that I could burn a bunch of stuff in it and not set anything on fire. I filled it with water once during a ritual, and I guess I didn't give myself enough room, and I ran right into it, and it spilled everywhere. I was stuck in the mud, like up to my ankles because of how much water there was on the ground. It was bad, to say the least. Metaphysically, I think the biggest mistake I've ever made was I was trying to do a generalized spell, and instead of doing a generalized spell, I ended up accidentally concentrating on one specific person. And it was also a banishing spell, and I was trying to keep a group of people away from me so I didn't have to intervene physically with them and have a conflict start. Well, instead of thinking about the group of people, I ended up thinking about one person instead. And I didn't word things the way I wanted, and I was still very angry when doing the ritual. So it didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. It was rather bad. Rather bad indeed. I gotta get you done at some point. Okay, guys. Any more questions? And Sarah doesn't have any. Nin, do you have any others? You are such a yawny puppy. And Zayloth, do you have any more? It was rather obvious. Stitchy face. I was born that way at Sarah. Okay, guys, if that's all the questions, I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast for tonight. I will be back next Saturday if baby allows me. So I will talk to you all then, and I will have an actual topic for next Saturday. So I will talk to you guys. Well, I'll be in the chat, but specifically I will see you guys on next week's broadcast. Oh, Inya tuned in. Oh, Inya. Yay.